Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, John de Silva Photography. Coming to you from a partly cloudy, sometimes sunny Bogota, Colombia. Now today's topic is photographing in New Zealand, and specifically the South Island of New Zealand. New Zealand itself is so full of photographic opportunities and travel that the video would be way too long to try to cover it in one shot. So I'm going to split up the video. Today we're handling the South Island, and I want to just start by saying I basically took all my gear on this trip. Tripod, rain sleeves, camera body, the 3 lenses that I always talk about, some filters, extra batteries, everything. Take your whole everything you got within reason. I have my camera backpack, not my sling, my normal low pro camera all-weather backpack. That way I didn't fill it up completely with camera gear, so I did have some space, and I was actually able to put some personal items in there for the long flight. Of course, it's a long flight from the United States. So anyway, I made really good use of my all-weather low pro traditional backpack that you've seen in my other videos. I'm just going to touch on clothing. You're going to need some cold weather clothing and some warm weather clothing because New Zealand has varied environments. So just keep that in mind. And of course, you're going to do a lot of hiking. Hopefully that's why you're going there. Most people go there for hiking. It's just the most beautiful outdoor environments that you can imagine. So you're going to need your hiking boots. Now, please, before I get into this, always remember to like and subscribe to these videos. Of course, I've got another one coming up on the North Island, so get ready for that one. But always like and subscribe. Come back to my channel. I'm going to be posting every 2 weeks. So before even getting into being in New Zealand, preparing for New Zealand. Now you're going to see on my map that I drew up for you that I landed in Christchurch. Now Christchurch is kind of in the middle of the South Island. The route was south from Christchurch, got southwest, and then due south all the way down to the most southern tip of the South Island to a town called Bluff. Then traversed up northwest into the fjord area, back down into Queensland, along the west coast for a bit, and then cut across the South Island to hit Arthur's Pass, and then up the east coast, did a little swimming with wild dolphins before we eventually got to the north tip and took the ferry to the North Island. You make your route as you see fit. It involves a lot of research, a lot of knowledge of knowing what you want to see, what's can't miss, and what's something that you can bypass depending on how much time. I was in the South Island for a total of 44 days. 39 of those nights was spent in a conversion van, and 5 nights were in a hotel. So most of the time in the conversion van. Now, part of your planning will be, well, do we rent a car? Do I rent a car? Do I stay in hotels? And if you don't know already, the best way and pretty much the only way, in my opinion, to see New Zealand is to rent an RV. New Zealand is so set up for RV travel, and the campgrounds that they have, both national and private, are numerous. You never have a problem. I never had a problem finding places to stay. You can sign up for memberships. There's also a thing there called Freedom Camping, where basically there are either parking lots or places set aside where you can just pull up and park overnight. Now, generally there are very limited spots for these, but you just park and park for free, and you can stay there overnight without being hassled by the local authorities, because there are signs there that say, you know, you are allowed to park there. So that's very advantageous. Having an RV means you can park right next to mountains, to streams, in forests, where if you travel as much as you should, let me see here, at least, but more than 23 sites I visited while in New Zealand. So you're now talking 23 hotel nights, finding a hotel, and generally the hotel is not next or close by to what you want to hike at the next day. So having your RV right there, you basically pop out of your RV in the morning and hit the trail right away. So the great thing about an RV in New Zealand, of course, it is your hotel room, it is your rental car, transportation, it is also your kitchen, your restaurant. It's three things in one. It is so fantastic and so convenient. Not only that, it is so financially advantageous, because you've got everything wrapped up in one thing, and you save tons of money from hotels and eating out at restaurants all the time. So it just, the convenience factor alone, I'd be willing to pay a little bit more just to have that convenience of having everything taken care of. And the other benefit is my camera gear was always in the same place. You don't have to pack and unpack, whether it's your clothing or camera gear. Always kept all my camera gear in the same place in the RV. So I knew where it was secure, it was fantastic. So now I'm gonna get right to the photography. As I said, I landed in Christchurch, and immediately after 5 days getting your bearings, getting settled, picking up the RV, you drive to, the first stop that was convenient was to Lake Tekapo, a beautiful area. There they have what's called a dark sky project, if you're familiar with that. At night, there's very little to no light pollution, so you can go out there in the evenings when it's really cold, because it's a higher altitude. But you get beautiful scenery of the sky, and they also run programs, point out stars and galaxies through their telescopes. But of course, it gave me the opportunity to photograph. So that was very fantastic. Again, you can, in addition, you hike around Mount Cook. There's also the Hooker Valley Trail that you can hike. And then there's a couple of days hiking's worth around Mount Cook. And then you travel on, and we go to the Clay Cliffs, where you see all these unusual formations. And you just you follow your route, and you go through places. You'll drive along the beach when you head south, and then east towards the coast. You'll go by the Moeraki boulders, which it's not that exciting, but it's along your route. So if you want to stop in for even just 20 minutes, it's very convenient on your way to Dunedin. Now we use Dunedin as kind of a transfer point, a place to collect ourselves until we go on to the next phase, gas up, rest, because there's not really that much to see in Dunedin. It's quaint, it's not big, but you continue on from Dunedin while you're making your way down to Bluff. But along the way, you're going to stop at numerous places. One of them will be Tatuku Beach and Purakanai Falls. You'll see all these places. You'll go by Nugget Point, check out the lighthouse, all the way, like I said, on your way down to Bluff. And then after you're done with Bluff, you'll see again, stopping at places. You'll see images that I made along the way. You'll head up to Anau. Anau is the main town from where you do all of your fjord sightseeing. There's a number of campsites that you can camp at along the way. That is in between, like Doubtful Sound and Milford Sound. But there is so much nature to see, and so many names that I quite honestly can't recall, but you will make, there's plenty of opportunity to do numerous hikes and make numerous photographs. So make sure you take all your lenses on these hikes and your tripods, because there's a lot of waterfalls and a lot of rivers that are in just beautiful scenic areas that you'll want to take some, drag your shutter and take some time lapse, some slow shutter speeds to get that water in the waterfalls and the rivers the way you want to see that ethereal, like white blurring. So you'll even more than likely take a cruise, whether it's at Doubtful Sound or Milford Sound or both, because they are quite different. And it's really beautiful, really gorgeous, weather dependent. Now, you can make the most beautiful, stunning imagery on these cruises, weather dependent. One cruise we took, there was a lot of clouds, and of course, if there's too much fog and everything, it kind of, just negates being able to make great photographs of the scenery. But if there's just light touches of fog and clouds and such, that can make for a very, very nice photographs. The other cruise we did, we had sunshine like we have now that it's back out, and that offers great photographs as well. So one or both cruises I would recommend. You get great photographs. And then we left that area and ended up around Queenstown. Now, Queenstown is supposedly what we were told was the adventure capital of New Zealand, and there is a lot of bungee jumping, a lot of skydiving, a lot of parasailing, stuff like that. We didn't partake in that, but there is a lot of things to see around Queenstown as well. Queenstown's a very nice big city. We stayed there several nights and saw the area. And there around Queenstown, there's Arrowtown, where you'll see some fall color if you're there at the same time I was there. Then there's Glenorchy. There are hikes in Glenorchy, which is a small town just north of Queenstown. Wanaka hikes. Wanaka is another town that's just north of Queenstown. Lake Hauwa and Roy's Peak. Now, Roy's Peak, you're going to get some beautiful views up there, but it is one of the most exhaustive climbs I have ever undertaken. Day climbs. I mean, I'm not talking about Mount Kilimanjaro or Everest Base Camp. Those were multi-day hikes and quite demanding. Roy's Peak, for a day hike, the incline was just tough. By the time I got up there, I was ready for the break. Stayed up there, made some great photographs, because what you see is beautiful, and you'll see parasailers and paragliders all around you. You get some great photographs of them. That was a great area. So from Queenstown, go up to Fox Glacier and Franz Josef Glacier. You'll see some beautiful scenery there as well. Just look at the pictures that you're seeing right now. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous. You'll cut across from there. You'll cut across and go over to the East Coast and visit places like Kaikoura along the coast and many others. You're seeing some dolphin pictures perhaps right now, most likely. You'll go to Abel Tasman Park, which is in the northwest section of the South Island. Again, beautiful scenery there, and I actually kind of focused on the micro level of things there. There was just a lot of fascinating mushrooms and close-up photography of flowers, spider webs, things of that nature. It was just a really, again, beautiful but different in the Abel Tasman National Park. Now, the last stop we took was Picton. We did hit some places like Nelson, which had Pics peanut butter factory. Me being a peanut butter lover, I had to visit Pics. You had to get a free tour. You got free peanut butter, which is always good for me. And then you take the ferry from the Picton area across to the North Island in Wellington, which will be my next video. So stay tuned for that. Look for that. In the meantime, please Don't forget, like and subscribe my video. Visit my channel often because I'll be adding a new video probably every 2 weeks. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you for the North Island video.